were a unique band. I never knew, like, a lot of, what do we call it today, content. Like, they wrote a lot of music. They put out a lot of music in a short period of time.
They really
like,
did.
That's 69 to 71. I mean, they just, man, was it 4 albums, right? And all this stuff.
And, I mean, there's a lot, like, Zeppelin bashers will say that they,
I call them the world's greatest cover band.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to say that all the time on the radio because it would piss everybody off.
Yeah.
But for so many years, Greg, you don't understand. I would have to play Get the Lead Out at 5 o'clock every day. So every day at 5 o'clock, get the lead out. It's like, oh, God, again? Fuck it again? God. It's like, after a while you worked at a restaurant, you just don't want to have a burger anymore. A steak, beautiful steak, so maybe Japanese Kobe steak. It sounds delicious. See it every day. No, thank you.
Yeah.
So that was my thing. So I used to call them the world's greatest cover band. But it is interesting because was it Spirit that had the song? I forget the name of their song, but it was a very similar intro to Stairway to Heaven. And I don't know how you can hear the two side by side and not in some way believe that they took it from the band Spirit. But I think there was a court hearing and everything. And in the court, I think when you go for copyright infringement in music, they can't play the song.
Interesting.
Can only look at the notes.
Interesting.
And I'm going, well, how, you must bring in experts. You have to, right?
Yeah, right.
To try to, because I wouldn't know. I'd be like, I don't know. Looks the same to me.
Yeah,
it's like,
I can't read music.
Dots on a fret. Right. I have no idea. But certainly, I mean, that to me, that's a great song right there. And it just, right? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, it stands the test of time. And it's a band that in 1980, after Bono overdid it and died, they said, all right, fuck it, we're done.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah. What, 12, 13 years, 14 years?
Yeah. So in a really short period of time, you became one of the longest lasting bands.
Right.
I mean, right? Probably not as popular as the Beatles, but certainly got to be.
Damn near.
Yeah, and just the staying power is amazing to me. Now, maybe it's the black magic that Jimmy Page is into. I don't know. I'm not sure. There's all kinds of black voodoo and
wacky,
shit.
Yeah, they're all wacky back then, man.
John Paul Jones is the only one that they, like, he seemed like the only sober one, and nobody wanted to include him in any of the reunions or things they were doing.
Yeah, because he's no fun.
Yeah, and we can find anybody to play bass. But Robert Plant, man, that was great pipes. And he's still doing stuff, certainly not to that level, with that. Alison Krauss, I think he's going on tour again.
Wow.
And I do know that he was, he played down at CMAC, like maybe a summer or two ago.
Yep.
And I knew somebody who was working security for the venue. And someone got in for sound check and ran up on the stage and gave him a big hug. And then just a fan, right? And freaked him the fuck out. Like he was, they said it took a lot. Like he almost didn't want to do the show.
Wow.
Well, you got to think, like, you don't know what this guy's going to do in today.
Especially these days.
Well, these days, any day. Go back to, what was it, 1980? John Lennon signs an autograph, and the next thing you know, he's got lead in his head. It's like.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so you just never know with somebody. But he did go on and do the show, and that was the end of that. But, man, that would freak you out.
That would be.
And you're in the middle of nowhere. Kind of like out, Canandaigua. It's nice, peaceful, quiet. Here goes, I love you, dude. It's like, oh,
how do you even get through? Like, I mean,
315ers always find a way.
I'll tell you what. I swear to God, and I am a huge believer in this. If you just act cool, you can get away with anything.
Good point.
I'll add a caveat to that people won't like. If you're white and you just act cool, you can get away with anything. And I know people go, oh, that's bullshit. No, I'm dead serious. The PGA, not this time it was here, but back a couple, when was it, 2010, 20 whatever?
13, yeah.
13, somewhere around there. I got in and went up to I followed a TV station up to the Wanamaker Trophy that they were handing out to the winner. So they were doing a whole thing. I had pictures of me kissing it, standing with it, right? And somebody goes, what are you doing here? I go, oh, we're right over there. We walked into a private party, sat down, we're eating and drinking for free. Somebody who happened to be with me, his name is Dan Barillo.
Little bitch.
Got very nervous. It kept getting all squirmy and stuff and getting all uncomfortable. And I'm like, Danny, just act cool. Don't. So then all of a sudden we start getting kind of the fisheye because it's a group of people, right? There's people who work together. They probably had clients and things. And then finally some guy just casually walks over and goes, all right, guys, you got to leave. And Danny, I think Danny was the first one. Oh, yeah, no problem. Oh, no. And it's like, man, I go, yeah, no problem. Thank you. That was it. We got up and left. But I swear to God. So you want to walk into the venue and people are doing their job. They're getting ready for the show. They're cleaning up. They're sweeping. They're making sure they got the ice and the beer and they've got enough cash on hand or whatever they're doing. They're not paying attention. You walk in like you're not being an asshole. You can get in anywhere.
Yeah.
But security has one job.
One
job.
I know. I get that. I understand. So a recent study found that thanks to the ever-increasing easy access to porn, with many becoming addicted to it, it's causing real problems in the bedroom for younger men. Either they can't climax, they climax too soon, they can't maintain an erection, and it's all because they think it's being overdone on the other end. Now, I would say that I would take it even one step further. I think that you will not find another Jimmy Page. We won't have another Eric Clapton. We're not going to get these guys because they sat in a room. They were nerds who sat in a room. They were introverts. They were weirdos, and they just played guitar over and over and over until they figured it out. Now you go up in your room and you are just stroking it over and over and over again because all you have is porn. It's right there. We didn't have the access.
Right.
I think that that's going to become a real problem. Think about it right now. Is anybody talking about rock and roll? Like in today's modern music?
Rock and roll's dead.
Yes,
man.
basically it's dead.
Absolutely dead.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
porn killed rock.
That is exactly my premise. I always go porn killed rock.
I thought paper beat rock.
So that's just my theory on that. But this whole study, it was a whole big long study, and it says that porn is also giving men a false pretense as to what women like. And so it was a woman who wrote the article, and she goes, I went through and watched porn, and she said, ladies, first of all, the women in the porn, stop moaning so loudly. It can't be that good. But most of these guys are coming in like they're pile driving, and they go, that's not what women like.
Right.
That's not what it is.
They want to be loved.
Yes.
We're in
Correct.
the wrong damn business. We got to start doing studies that involve porn.
What do you mean?
Right.
We could do our own study. We could
do our own research.
Wait, hang on a second. You don't think that you could make up some bullshit institute? Think of how.
But I want the money to come. I don't want to just make up some bullshit institute.
But you could make up a bullshit institute and say we're looking for funding for this, and you just reach out to people and see if they give you some money. You look for grants and things.
We talked about, my buddy and I talked about doing this one year with youth hockey. Just getting some lanyards and finding the hot moms and start talking. Yeah, we have a junior program up in Halifax.
Yeah, and see
if we get my buddy laid.
Did it work?
Did not do it.
Wasn't it a hockey? No, it wasn't a hockey mom. It was hockey kids in Minnesota where a mom. Did you see this?
No.
39-year-old mom gets in a hot tub. She was on a staycation in Minnesota. Allegedly with her husband and 2 kids. Now, there's varying degrees on the story if they were actually together or not. But she wound up showing up at 2 15-year-old boys' rooms. There were 3 boys in the room. She had sex with 2 of them while the 3rd one watched. And then, it all got blown. It all blew up. Probably like somebody found out somewhere along the line, and the kids cracked.
Yeah,
the kids cracked. It went down. And I go, let that have been I have 3 sons, and I have one now who's 14. Let that be my guy who would be 15. I think his mother would lose her shit on that woman.
Oh yeah, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's kind of like the thing with guys getting the wrong idea what women want in porn. We always joke.
That's the woman from Minnesota.
Wow, not too shabby.
Only reason I have it is because I tried to message her.
Wait.
I tried to message her.
You saved her.
I have it in my messages.
Wait, you saved? Oh, you have it in your messages?
Yeah, I just pulled the profile up through the messenger.
Oh, I thought
not a dirty pervert.
I thought you kept the picture on your camera roll.
I don't need porn. I got hockey mom.
No, back in the day, you had to work to see anything naked.
Yeah,
right.
But we always joke about you hear about the school teacher banging a 15-year-old. You're like, wow, why couldn't that have happened to me? But It really, I mean, I don't want to get all heavy, but it's sexual abuse. It's
It
not
is,
okay.
It is, and it's not okay, and I'm with you on that. And I had a buddy who was 17 who banged a 42-year-old, and he fell in love. And not that, 17's of age, right? And there's nothing terrible about it, but it fucked him up a little bit because he showed up at her house with flowers the next weekend.
Oh,
she was from down in New York City and had a weekend home up by where we lived. And he shows up and she's got her boyfriend or some guy there. And, she was just having a good time.
Yep.
And he didn't get that.
Yep.
Right. And so it's very easy when you're young to confuse sex and love. And that's why,
Yeah.
I actually had an argument last night with my 14-year-old on the podcast.
I didn't get that far in the show last night. I was busy.
Because we were talking to he wanted to talk to one of the people on the podcast, and then I said something about he was saying something about an underage girl, and I said, you know what, if somebody's 16 and the guy's 19, or the girl's 19 and the guy's 16, I sometimes think the age of consent should be lowered to 16, only because I don't think that should be in court. I'm not sure that a 39-year-old woman. It happened here. I think there was a 39-year-old woman in Caledonia and a 16-year-old boy, still underage, winds up in court. I'm not sure that belongs in court. Do you need to have a serious conversation with your kid? Maybe keep him away from that woman. Maybe there's some kind of assault. I just go, at that point, it just feels like it's just a big fucking waste of time for the court, to me, for a legal action.
Yeah, I mean, what are they?
Bad
what's
choices.
the legal action? She's getting arrested. She's getting.
Well, no, it's statutory rape.
Oh yeah.
So
okay,
she'll wind up with some kind of record and this, and I go, I'm not sure that what does that do for anybody. Either way, the relationship ends. She goes on with her life. I don't think anything in her life changes except she's not paying money to the state. That's it. So her marriage is probably over.
Oh yeah,
I would assume,
life's
right?
ruined.
She's considered a complete slut, whore, whatever. No one's talking to her. She may have to move. All the same stuff, all the same thing. It just doesn't hit the news. It just stays a little more private, and you don't have to pay the fines and clog up the court system. To me, it just seems stupid. But some people don't agree with that. I don't know.
I mean, you got to have a line somewhere, I guess.
You do have to have a line, and you're right. I mean, look,
But
15, 14, no, that's, I never understood. I go, you went and paid to get a master's degree to be a teacher. So you went for extra education. You got extra loans to pay to get that. Then you go there and you throw it all away for a 15-year-old cock? What's that? Come on.
Yeah. Well, that's
who've been watching porn and aren't going to bang you properly anyway? What's wrong with you?
He can't keep it up because
That's my only. I don't understand it, but that's the way of the world. Do you remember how old you were when you first saw your first naked magazine, Naked Woman?
Oh man,
I think I was in 3rd grade.
Oh really?
Yeah, I had a really.
I might have been down there.
I remember being on the bus, and there was a kid in 2nd grade who his dad had the magazines and stuff, and I got him. He was bringing it in, and I remember seeing it, and I was addicted. I was like, whoa, look at this. Yeah, I was 9. I'll never forget it.
I don't know how young I was, but yeah, it was one of those deals. My buddy's dad got Playboy. He had a subscription to Playboy, but they were always hidden. You know what I mean? They were always hidden up in the closet. It's
right.
Dude, go get your dad's Playboys, man.
Yeah.
Nah, I can't go in his closet, man. He'll know I was there. We got these, our dads are leaving matchbook covers in the door jam, so that we can tell we opened up the door.
My parents did that with the liquor cabinet.
Didn't stop you.
No, it didn't.
Right.
Didn't stop me at all. That was always been my worst vice.
Yeah.
Is drinking, always.
Who knew vodka froze?
Oh, God. I mean, I was parties all the time when I was a kid, all that stuff.
Yeah.
My parents left, and that place turned into Animal House. From the time I was 14.
Yeah, I was pretty good till I was out of high school. Then I turned into a maniac because my parents were strict, and I didn't feel like dealing with the strictness.
Yeah, that's not you. That is that's Fairport, and Fairport has this old school emergency. So that's how they used to summon people to deal with it, the fire and the police were summoned through that, late at night. Nice. So years ago, so now we live in a world where everybody's electronically connected. We could send out, right? Every one of these guys already know. They're already on their way. But here, we still have the big air horn that blows because, for nostalgic purposes, the village decided to keep it.
Right.
So anytime it goes off, sometimes you'll hear the siren. I'll always sometimes when I hear it, I'll go, God, I hope everybody's all right. I hope everybody's all right.
You can't opt out of that either if you live here.
No,
I'd like to opt out of the siren.
And
please.
people I go, how would you like this? It's right in the village, and it just goes off. It's like you hear it. It's a giant air horn. It sits across the street, and it in a big tower, and it just goes off.
The thing I want to know is how far around Fairport does it go? It doesn't get up to you where you are, I'm assuming.
No, it does not.
It can't get more than
but
maybe to the first set of lights down 31.
Yeah, I think you would hear it in the homes though, because
we're just
all the way up
is
to
it
the
Foodie
canal.
right in the village here somewhere?
No, Foodie's
Is he further out?
He's a little further out. Yeah, he's a little further out. But I don't know. I think sometimes if I listen, I might hear it and not really realize that but it would have to be kind of real quiet. But it's for it's the old quaint village. Hey, Jebediah, grab a bucket of water. The old barn's on fire. Get to the canal quick. I mean,
we used to have when I was a kid. We used to have the fire department would sound the sirens at noon.
Yes.
Yeah, they do that in Penfield still.
Yeah.
But
You live in Penfield?
Yeah.
Look at that east side.
Yeah.
I like the east side. I'm an east side guy. I'm an east side guy. I got to get that. So, Comedy at the Carlson, April 4th. Get your tickets right there at carlsoncomedy.com. Greg is going to be headlining his own show. First time headlining.
First headlining gig at a comedy club.
At a comedy club. So you've headlined before.
Yeah. But see, do you want to get hung up on semantics? Headlining is the guy that's on the marquee, right?
Yes.
You know, because they'll always say in a bar show, headline a bar show, but no one even knows who's on the bar show. You know what I mean? So you're closing out the show.
Does the whole family coming?
Yeah, man, it's a big deal. Kids
are
coming up from New York City.
They are.
Sisters coming in.
Yes.
From all over, yeah.
Does that add more pressure for you?
Nah, they've all seen me before, so
yeah,
that's no pressure. I just want to have a huge show. I want to fill the joint and and rock it out.
And rock it out. Right. I think it will be.
Yeah.
Then have you done? Is it new material? Material that
a little bit of new, a little bit of mostly old, mostly the stuff I've been doing. But the good thing. See, my school of thought exactly. That's my school of thought with comedy is you always got to be working on your best stuff and when you got your biggest shows, you should be bringing out your best stuff always.
Yeah, always. Right.
Anytime you work at the Carlson, I mean, it's a premier comedy club. So if you're whether you're the MC, the feature, or the headliner, you better be bringing all your best stuff.
Right.
Right. I hear young comics sometimes go, I think I'm going to try some new stuff tonight. I'm like, don't. You'll be sorry.
Unless you know.
Yeah.
Unless
you know it crushes.
Right. Sometimes if you can slide new stuff in the middle and you've got a strong closer or you've had a strong open and you can try to let it lull in there. And even if it doesn't work, go, well, I was trying it, and then you bring them along. I think people like more than anything authenticity these days.
Right.
Don't you think?
Right.
So to even say,
yeah,
like I wouldn't say what I'm doing until after it bombed, maybe, and I go, well, that's one I won't do again. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
testing that one out.
Some bomb saves.
Right.
So I'll say, well, shit, my steering wheel thought that was funny. Stuff like that.
Well, I think this is a pretty exciting deal. Get your tickets. It'll be our friend Doug Phelps as the MC, Cindy Arena, and then Greg Owens.
Yeah, baby.
Bringing it home.
Let's do it.
With all the family right there. Now, do you seat them in an area where you can see them or not? I would have to have my family like somewhere.
You'd put your family in the Rickles room.
Well, you know what happens? I don't know if this happens to you or not.
Yeah.
Like, I sort of black out as to who's even there.
Yeah, that'll be me.
I just get so and especially if it's going well and there we go. See, now you're the sirens.
They're all whipping out.
You just start feeding off the crowd, and then it's like you just ride that wave and you just keep it going, and everybody. And at the end of the night, you sort of forget that they're there, but then you're always glad when you kill that they were there to see it. Because if you went home and go, man, did I kill them? Like, right. I heard that same shit over and over. Exactly. You mean that one you were doing to the steering wheel?
Yeah.
Well, it's nice to officially meet you, and I think the show should do very well. Get your tickets, carlsoncomedy.com. Greg Owens doing his headline in the show. For Kevin Muir, I'm Bill Moran. God damn it.
Forget to record?
Yeah.
You got
the whole last set.
You got the Facebook.
Good. It's been in the past couple of days.
How drunk did you get the other night?
I didn't get that drunk. I didn't get that drunk.
Blew yesterday. You blew today.
Yeah. No.
Blew at 0.4. What?
There you go. Have a great St. Patrick's Day weekend. We'll see you Monday.
Yes, sir.